and welcome back to my channel, Lara Bakes. I think this might be my 10th video, I'm not actually sure. No, maybe it's not, maybe not there yet. This week I've got a cake recipe finally, not covered cake yet, and it's a lemon drizzle loaf. I love lemon cake, I think it's actually one of my favourite flavours, and this is just a really simple recipe. Like I try and make all the recipes, all my videos, want them to be quite simple, and this is going to be an all-in-one method. So often with cake, there is the creaming method, which is when you get your butter and your sugar and you sort of mix them, whip them together, beat them together so it's light and fluffy, and that's when you start adding your eggs, your flour. But then there is another all-in-one method, is literally where you bung everything in, mix it all together, put it in your tin and bake. That's what this one is, so it's really nice and simple. Again, I'm going to show you what you're going to need, the ingredients, and then you could do this by hand, which I am not. You can mix this all up in your kitchen mixers, your food, your freestanding mixers, but I am going to be using a hand whisk because I am lazy and can't be bothered to get out my KitchenAid and less washing up as well. So I'm just going to mix it all in a bowl with a hand whisk and show you how easy it is to do. So I'll show you the ingredients you're going to need. So you're going to need 175 grams of soft unsalted butter, 175 grams of self-raising flour, 175 grams of caster sugar, 3 eggs, the zest of 1 lemon, and then some baking powder. You need 3/4 of a teaspoon. What I haven't shown you as well is you will need some granulated sugar after to make the drizzle sauce. So what you will need for that is the juice of 1 lemon, and then it's about 100 grams of granulated sugar, mix them together, and then once your cake has come out of the oven, you poke holes in it. I can't say the word poke. You poke holes in it, and then you drizzle your icing on top. I'm just going to really add that tangy, lemony flavour in your sponge. But again, we're going to do that once the cake's actually ready. But first of all, we're going to mix it all up. Also, to show you, I've already got my loaf tin lined with some greaseproof paper ready for when you bake, and then it's a lot easier to take the cake out as well. I'm going to put that to one side. Okay, so I'm going to put them all in. So I'm going to go with the sugar first, all the ingredients. Got my flour. Got the butter, which I like to cut it up in squares so it's easy to mix as well. And you can see it's soft at room temperature. When I squeeze it, you can easily push into it. That's the texture that you want for this. Get your lemon zest. Just using my hands, right, getting right in there. Add our eggs. Then 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. Then we're going to mix this until it's all mixed nicely together. So I'll start on a low speed, and then I'll increase it once it's all started to blend together. I do like to give it just like a final little fold with a spatula, just making sure you've got all your flour mixed into your mixture and everything's nicely combined. So next we're just going to add the mixture into your loaf tin. With your spatula, you're just going to level your mixture off, so you can try and have as much an even bake as possible. Just pushing that mixture into those corners. So the oven's been preheating at gas mark 4, and then you want to bake this for about 40 minutes, but then you can do the test where you stick like a skewer in or a knife, and if it comes out clean. Try not to open the oven door too much, because that's what can happen. That's what makes your sponge sink sometimes. Like too much opening gets air in the oven, and then that's when your sponges sink. So put a timer on for 40 minutes, have a look, and then you can judge it by eye if you need to take it, put it in for a little bit longer or not. But yeah, I'm gonna go for 40 minutes, and then we'll come back, and then that's when we'll make the sugar syrup to go on top, and then we can try it. Okay, so took the cake out of the oven, And what I did with a fork, I just poked loads of different holes in it, and then I mixed 100 grams of granulated sugar with the juice of the lemon, mixed it together, and then just poured that juice over the cake, and that's going to give you that really extra tangy lemon taste. And the reason I used granulated sugar instead of caster sugar, it just gives that little bit of a crunch, which sometimes you want on the top of a cake, whereas in the sponge you want that smooth, finer sugar, which is why most people tend to use caster sugar in cakes. So didn't have a plate long enough to put it on, so I just put it on my chopping board, and you can see how good it looks. It's actually baked really nice and flat on top. As you can see, there's a slight sinkage because that's when I took it out the oven. So what it was at 40 minutes, took it out and I tested it, but in the middle it was still a little bit liquid when I put my knife in. So I put it in for 5 extra minutes, and then it's perfect, which is why there is that slight little dip, but overall it's a pretty even bake, which I'm really happy with. So I'm going to cut a little slice now and then taste it. If I can find the right knife. Okay, here we go. Oh, this looks so good. I'm going to show you. There's my little slice. You can see what a lovely colour it's got. What a nice bake it's had. And you can see there, lovely little lemon drizzle loaf. Like I said, these are nice to give some to your friends, to your family, or just have it for yourself. So let me do the all-important taste test. So good. Taste the lemon and the granulated sugar on top, just gives a nice little crunch. It's nice and fluffy, and oh, with a cup of tea, so good. Please give this recipe a go. You will not regret it. Actually, mixing it earlier took a couple of minutes with the hand whisk. It did not take long with the all-in-one method. It's so simple. Again, you could definitely do this with kids, get them involved, putting the ingredients in, mixing it up. I mean, so really easy to bake, but so delicious. And yeah, this can last you a couple of days in an airtight container. Lovely. I hope you give this a go. Any questions, just pop them in down below and I will answer them for you. If you like this video, please like it. Please subscribe to my channel. It's been a great way to spend furlough off work doing this, something that I love. And yeah, please come back next week to see another video. And happy baking and eating.